Good morning. Welcome to Bellingham Unitarian Fellowship. I'm Reverend Paul Beckel. Welcome to those of you on Zoom. Welcome to those of you here in the sanctuary. Welcome to those of you who are here for the first time. Please stay after the service today with us. We have coffee hour downstairs, down those stairs right out there, and we'd love to get to know you better. You can also fill out, there's a buff-colored little slip in the pew rack in front of you that you could put your contact information on if you would allow us to contact you later and give you information about how to get on our newsletter and our website. Our newsletter comes out every Wednesday afternoon, has lots of information about activities, but even today on the back of your order of service, there's some good information about activities coming up. So, thank you for being here. It is so great as beloved community to be all together.
Good morning. As we light the chalice, please say with me, number 443, we arrive out of many singular rooms. We arrive out of many singular rooms, walking over the branching streets. We enlarge our voices in common, speaking and singing.
We try again that solitude found in the midst of those who with us seek security and recognize.
Our eyes reclaim the remembered faces. Their voices stir the surrounding air.
The warmth of their hands assures us, and the gladness of our spoken names.
This is the reason of cities, of homes, of assemblies in the houses of worship.
It is good to be with one another.
Together, let us recite our covenant. Love is the spirit of this fellowship, and service gives it life. Celebrating our diversity and joined by a quest for truth, we work for peace and honor all creation. This is our covenant.
And now please stand and embody your spirit and join with me in singing our gathering hymn number 23, Bring Many Names.
Holiness and glory, living I'd like to sing for you a song that I wrote, and I would like you to join me in the chorus after the chorus gets sung the second time, and the words will appear up here. I was walking down a busy street just the other day when a preacher man stepped up to me and stood right in my way. He had a wild look in his eye. He ranted and he raved, and he said to me, unless you believe, you will not be saved. I looked right at that preacher, and I told him with a grin, well, I'm sorry, guy, but I don't buy your eternal damnation, 'cause I'm a Unitarian, vegetarian. I'm a humanist, agnostic, feminist, Buddhist, a neo-pagan, and a born-again nudist. I am a Unitarian, vegetarian, and I'll sing it out again and again. That preacher man seemed puzzled, not knowing what to say. I said, if I've confused you, rest assured that it's okay. I know I have few answers, but I love a great debate. So be a mensch, sit on that bench. We'll have a tate. We chatted for an hour, that preacher man and I. Now when we meet down on the street, we smile and we say hi. So as I'm passing through this world, dancing my daily dance, I'll have that conversation every time I get a chance to share my understanding of the Unitarian way. If they say to me, what do you believe? I know just what to say. We'll share our views of life, of love, of truth, and everything. I'll learn a few new points of view, and then you'll hear me sing. 'Cause I'm a Unitarian, vegetarian. I'm a humanist, agnostic, feminist, Buddhist, a neo-pagan, and a born-again nudist. I am a Unitarian, vegetarian, and I'll sing it out again and again. One more time. I am a Unitarian, vegetarian. I'm a humanist, agnostic, feminist, Buddhist, a neo-pagan, and a born-again nudist. I am a Unitarian, vegetarian, and I'll sing it out again and again. Thank you.
As you go, may your heart be at peace as you go. To nurture the spark of your precious life, we hold you in our love as you go.
You can go way over there if you want. Good morning.
Hello,
What floor do you want?
I'm on floor 12.
Oh, that's nice. It looks as though you're one of those union people or whatever that are meeting here.
Yeah.
I don't want to be rude, but what's that all about?
So it's the Unitarian Universalist Conference. I'm going to be going and attending.
And what does Unitarian Universalist mean?
So it's a religion that basically searches for truth and meaning in all religions, and that values and respects all humans, and seeks to do good and find truth in all the world and in all people.
That sounds wonderful.
It is.
Well, here we are at number 12. Have a nice day. Anybody going down? Love that elevator music. You walk through the door. Good morning. What floor are you going to?
I'm going to floor 12.
Oh, another one. Here we go. So, what's your take on Unitarian Universalism? Did I get it right?
You got it right, yep. I'm going to the Unitarian Universalist Conference because I'm a Unitarian Universalist. And I've outgrown the faith I grew up in because it tried to control people with guilt and shame. I believe that life in the here and now is sacred, and that any religion that has love at the center is also sacred too. So I'm at the conference because I believe that the life I live has to reflect what I say I believe in. And I'm getting a little older now, and I don't want to live my retirement years just making the sewage richer. So I like to tell people that Unitarian Universalism is like playing tennis without a net. The net being all of the creeds that other religions give us. And I'm one of those people that had to live and work and worship with the net in place for a while before I could put the net down.
Here we are at number 12.
Thank you very much.
Have a nice day. Going down. I miss Montavani. Good morning. What floor are you going to?
12, please.
Another one. So you're a Unitarian Universalist as well?
Why, yes, I am. Hey, we're in an elevator. I'd like to work on my elevator speech with you.
That's appropriate.
We're an unusual religion. We don't have a creed or follow one holy scripture, but look to a set of principles to guide our beliefs and actions. It's a never-ending conversation as we pursue our own personal spiritual journey, and not everyone takes the same path or arrives in the same place. In fact, many of us will never arrive at entirely satisfactory answers. Discussion, diversity, and questioning, these are normal for us. But spiritual issues aren't our only pursuit. We emphasize engagement with the here and now, actively supporting social and environmental justice.
Oh, we're at floor 12 already.
Uh-oh.
That was very nice, but I think we need a taller building.
I agree.
Oh, take that. No. Going down. Are you one of them? It looks as though you're attending this conference as well. I think I've got it. You represent one of the tenets of universalism, which is the blessing of silence.
Go ahead. 'Cause I'm a Unitarian, vegetarian,
I'm a humanist, agnostic, feminist, Buddhist, a neo-pagan, and a born-again nudist. I am a Unitarian, vegetarian, and I'll sing it out again and again.
And our next song and dance. Didn't you know?
Building community is essential at Bellingham Unitarian Fellowship. Building community is a life-affirming, sometimes challenging, always complex art. One that takes practice, reflection, and reaffirmation from time to time.
As we grow in our relationships, we appreciate new faces, new ideas, new perspectives. So we appreciate the opportunity today to welcome our newest members and to renew our sense of purpose as a beloved community. New members, will you please come forward? If we move off to the side, they would probably have room along here. So I'm going to ask each of you to introduce yourself briefly by telling us, maybe we won't all fit on stage, so you can just arc out that way. We got quite a crowd here. I'm going to have you tell us what brings you to Buff and what you bring to Buff. And then I will have you sign the membership book. You get a cute little round button and a rose.
My name is Gail Tillis. I moved to Bellingham last June, and I started coming to services in July. My husband had died 2 years before, leaving me with a large property that was in a severely fire-prone area of Northern California. My son and daughter-in-law, who live on Orcas Island, urged me to come north. And when I finally decided to move, I looked around and at various communities in the Northwest and decided on Bellingham. One of the reasons I picked Bellingham was because of the presence here of a sizable Unitarian congregation. I'd never been a Unitarian, but I thought that this would be a place where I could find a community of like-minded individuals from whom I could build friendships. And I was right. I was warmly welcomed, especially by Henry Ohana. And I decided that I wanted to pass that on to other people. So I'm now part of the hospitality committee. I also wanted to make a greater commitment to the Bellingham community, and so I have been active with Humanitas for some time. I'm very pleased and proud to be considered part of your community, and wearing this flappy little badge for so long, I just can't wait to get one of those pretty round ones.
Well, good morning. I'm Catherine Crawford. I have been a friend of the church for 6 years, and I've decided this year to deepen my commitment and become a member. What I'm bringing to the church is a writing background in both business, academe, and the arts, and I'm currently the midweek update editor, so you'll be hearing from me every now and then. And what I would like to get from the church is the kind of encouragement to spiritual growth that is talked about in our principle number 3. So I'm very happy to be here. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Constance Murphy. My association with Buff began when I met Henry Ohana. I saw Henry's commitment to social justice, standing out in the rain and the sleet and being harassed by people, showing the world that there was a ICE facility that was supposed to be secret. Way to go, Buff. So that kind of led me to explore a little further the commitment that Buff has to social justice. And social justice is one of the drivers in my life. And it's just, this community is just amazing to me. So my main commitment is to social justice, but also I see this wonderful community of people who have welcomed me, and I feel the love in this community. So Buff gives me fulfillment in my life of having a community, which I haven't had for a long, long time in my life. And for Buff, I bring a commitment that Buddhism gave me to the spirit of interbeing, the love of all life, animals, plants, water, and I want to bring that to the community and share that with all of you. Thank you for welcoming me.
Hello, my name is Nancy Braun, and I've learned in our family to go ahead of him because he was the college professor and always speaks very eloquently. So I'm going to only go to the first floor and be really short. I was a founding member of the McMinnville Unitarian Fellowship for about 10 years of active membership there. And what I bring to Buff is some commitment to always welcoming people that only have a handwritten name tag, because I know that means that they're probably pretty new to the fellowship. And I always like to have people feel welcome. So that's one of my gifts. I also like to bake for the coffee hour afterwards, so that's something I'll be doing on a regular basis. I did join the HR committee because I do value the amazing staff that we have at Buff and the experience that we have in fellowship every Sunday. So that's, my name's Nancy, and there's John.
Okay. I'm John Braun. I grew up in Abbotsford, which is why we moved to Blaine in retirement, to be close and keep our American health care. That is a problem up there. So Buff was a natural place for us to land. I was raised a Mennonite, joined the church when I was 16, got kicked out when I was 21 for the heresy of disbelieving the divinity of Christ or something like that. Remained unchurched for a couple decades, and then in the last 30 years or so I've been attending various UU fellowships with increasing frequency and have really enjoyed it. For a career, I taught history at various Oregon universities. I taught European, Russian, Middle Eastern, world history, ancient, modern, medieval, just about everything except American. As a Canadian, I just never felt comfortable telling Americans about their own history. So I do have some expertise, and I'm perfectly willing to share that with anyone who wants a conversation or would like a suggestion of something to read or someplace to look to follow their own interests. And I look forward to meeting you all.
Hello, I'm Carolyn Staten. When we first joined the Unitarian Church in Lexington, Kentucky, it was 1968. I had no idea that Unitarianism would slowly lead me to be able to develop a fundamental spiritual belief that all people are born filled with the necessary goodness and love to create a full and wonderful life for themselves and for others. This has allowed me to leave behind the message I got from my Presbyterian childhood, that all people are born in sin and must be saved. I like to think of being a member of Buff is captured in the Shaker hymn. Here's a partial quote. To bow and to bend, we will not be ashamed, till by turning and turning, we come round right. At this stage of my life, what I can bring to Buff is our annual pledge, my wholehearted joy of participation in my chalice circle, and occasionally providing a needed dinner for the meal train.
I'm Jim Staten. I grew up in Virginia, attending Methodist, Presbyterian, Baptist, Disciples of Christ Church, but they were basically all Baptist. Discovered Unitarianism, as Carolyn said, in 1968 in Lexington, Kentucky. We moved to Boston in 1970 and joined the UU Church in Belmont. For 49 years of active membership, I was fully engaged in the activities and programs. That included being a delegate to and a board member of the Benevolent Fraternity of Unitarian Churches. It is an association of 55 UU churches in and around Boston. It is now known as the UU Urban Ministry. I look forward to learning about the programs and activities of Buff and finding the right connection for me.
Good morning. My name's Grant Doby. Nancy, I sympathize. My spouse is also a college professor, although the day we accepted the invitation, she had a paper accepted at Sig C in Toronto, which is where she is now. So I don't have a following act. So we've been Unitarians for a while. I grew up Lutheran and then went to Peace Corps and had some changes of heart. I describe myself jokingly as a militant agnostic. And so in that vein, Unitarian Universalism really speaks to me. I find myself marveling at the nature of the universe from the lens of science. One of my fundamental tenets of my spiritual beliefs is that we are star stuff contemplating the stars. And one of my other fundamental beliefs is that all it requires for good to triumph over evil is for good people to do nothing. And so, all that is required for evil to triumph over good, thank you, is for good people to do nothing. And so being in a community that values a variety of viewpoints and being in a community that values service, both to the larger community and service to oneself, is important to us as we raise two small children and find our way in the world. And so we are very happy to be members here and look forward to many happy years of membership.
Thank you, Grant, and I'll have you sign the membership book. And when Carolyn can come, we'll do that too. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Speaking now to the people of the Bellingham Unitarian Fellowship, will you embrace this new group of members who have pledged to support the work of this community both financially and in their own unique ways, always discovering new intersections between their gifts and fresh opportunities for Buff to grow in its mission? Will you make room for these people and look for ways to include them in our caring community?
We will, joyfully. We will strive to be our best selves with you while listening closely to know who you are. We will offer you here a place of rest and solace and endless opportunities to learn and to serve. We will accept responsibility for our own actions, strive to practice forgiveness, and expect you to do the same. Having heard how this congregation welcomes you, we thank you for coming, and we'll greet you with applause as you see it. Go back in the congregation. So may this congregation be blessed in our shared ministry, and may we honor the covenants we share, always growing, learning, and deepening our connections.
Good morning. I'm Lee Seaman. I brought notes, but I have no hands to read my notes, so lucky you, I get to wing it. Usually I'm up here telling you about stewardship and how much fun it is to support Buff with things including money. And we have a lot of fun with that, which is awesome. But today I want to tell you a little bit about me and why I support Buff. And I think a lot of you know I started coming in 2004. I walked in off the street and asked our minister then if I could please have a place to teach my moving meditation class for free, but I didn't want to join the church. I just wanted a free space to teach. And he said, sure, which was surprising. I started attending Buff with my husband in, I think it was about 2006. We were both pretty quirky people, and Buff said yes to us anyway, which was pretty surprising. My husband died in 2018, and Buff supported me through the grieving process. And then came the pandemic, and Buff supported me and all the rest of us through some amazing technology. Thank you for all you people back in the back. Yeah. And for all of our church leadership for figuring out how to do all this really hard stuff on the fly, under pressure. Yay! And I came out about 2 years ago now. Buff was supportive of that. When my girlfriend started attending last year, she was supportive of us. Buff was supportive of us both. This is an awesome, awesome, awesome community. Because, you know, I'm looking around here and I'm seeing some other kind of quirky people too. Isn't it amazing that we found each other? So, you know, I'm probably kind of like you folks. My business didn't do great last year, but I raised my pledge 20% this year. Because this is a really good place to invest. I don't know if you've looked at the stock market recently, but it's not so great. This is a good place to invest. So I'm so pleased to be investing in Buff with you. I look forward to us building an even bigger and better and warmer and more welcoming and more saying yes community. Thank you. Yes, and I get to introduce Deb, who's going to talk to us about social justice and the social justice offering, right? Yes, okay. I will hold the microphone until you get here, because it could get lonely.
As good as winging it. Good morning, everybody. I'm sitting here looking at the piano music book. Oh, piano music book, and it said Beatles music. And one of my favorite top songs from them is Revolution. My name is Deb Cruz, and I've been with the Bellingham Unitarian Fellowship since 2004. My one constant activity has been social and environmental justice issues, so much so that I went beyond Buff and joined the board of Justice Washington and I'm the current president. Justice Washington is the That's what my problem is. Justice Washington is the UU State Action Network for the state of Washington. Our purpose is to provide support for our 30 congregations to help them engage and collaborate on a wide variety of social and environmental justice issues. We also work with national UU justice organizations like Side with Love, UUSC, and UU Ministry for Earth, and always with our NGOs. During the COVID pandemic, many of our UU congregations and members went into isolation, not only heavily impacting financial support, but also significantly reducing our engagement in justice activities. With the easing of COVID restrictions, we have been trying to help congregations bust out of their COVID cocoons. This year alone, we've been really working hard to do that. In January, we hosted an environmental justice summit that gave legislative summit, which gave people an opportunity to sit and talk with state legislators about environmental justice legislation going through the process. A couple of weeks ago, we hosted the Oak Flat Totem Pole Journey, and so did several other UU congregations like Quimper, East Shore, Olympia, and Whidbey Island. This coming weekend, we're hosting a summit on immigration issues with UUSC and UUs for Social Justice. In fact, Heather Vickery from UUSC is going to be conducting the service here next weekend as part of that summit. We're working with University Unitarian in April on a series of anti-racism training and webinars and services. And that guest speaker will be Chris Crass, who is a UU author, trainer, and organizer. We have other activities that we are working on and planning for. We're working on breaching the lower Snake River dams, an environmental justice summit, and addressing the indigenous issues around ICWA and the native boarding schools. There is so much work to be done in rebuilding the UU congregations, justice groups, and efforts. While we were in our COVID cocoons, the forces of injustice marched right along with little resistance. It's time for us to get united and get back out there. And we can only do that with your help.
Thank you, Deb. We do a social environmental justice collection every month for a local, sometimes national and international organization that is working to fulfill the promises of our principles. So as the ushers come around, if you make a check out to Buff, all the checks made out to Buff would be collected and turned into a single check for Justice Washington. If you put cash in the basket, it will also go to Justice Washington. If you want your contribution to go to a pledge, then write on the memo line of your check. Those of you on Zoom, you'll see a slide on your screen that explains how to give electronically. And thank you so much for your generosity. Thank you for all of the ways that you contribute to the world within and beyond Buff. As parents, in your jobs, in all of the work that you do in trying to live the principles within your own household, all of this can be challenging sometimes. So I want to say thank you for both doing that work and also, when you need a rest, coming back so that you can be with beloved community to help others know that they are welcome. Andrea, you put yourself in an awfully difficult position just now. Why? Because after all that energy, the only thing I can think to do is play Stump the Pianist. So, anybody? Pick a song in the hymnal, maybe even not in the hymnal. I don't know about that. Revolution? I don't know. Are you looking at it? She's going to do Revolution. Maybe, if she's got it.
I don't have it.
Oh. Okay, Deb, you sing it. You say you want a revolution, well, you know, we all want to change the world. All right. You know the words? All right. Okay, how about something that we can all sing together? Seriously. We're gentle, angry people. What number is that in the hymnal? And maybe you don't need to know because the words are, whoever has that, like there's 3 or 4 things that we sing over and over. So we are a gentle, angry people, and we are singing for our lives. We are... Again, not that you need the hymnal, but just to find the first lines is all we need, and then we can sing with. And, both with vigor, but also, it's got sadness in it, it's got energy, it's got a sense of togetherness, so put all of that into your heart as we stand and sing Gentle, Angry People. We are a gentle, angry people, and we are singing for our lives. We are gentle, angry people, and we are singing for our lives. We are justice-seeking people, and we are singing for our lives. We are justice-seeking people, and we are singing for our lives. We are young and old together, And you know, the Zoom people never get a chance to decide what we're going to sing. So if you're on Zoom and you want to type a hymn number into the chat, can you guys back in the booth tell me what number comes up? We're counting on those of you on Zoom. You get to participate too. Okay. Well, okay. After the Zoom, okay. Fire of Commitment, which is in the teal hymnal, number. In the heel hymnal number 1028. From the light of days remembered, burns a beacon bright and clear, guiding hands and hearts and spirits into faith set free from fear. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin. From the stories of our living rings a song both brave and free, calling pilgrims still to witness to the life of liberty. And the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin. From the dreams of youthful vision comes a new prophetic noise, which demands a deeper justice held by our courageous joys. And the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way, and we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin. You said you'd play All You Need Is Love also. Who was it that said they'd lead it? Who's gonna lead it? Because I might get the words wrong. Okay, let's sing, but I might get the words wrong.
stairs are kind of steep for somebody like me. Okay, if here you have found freedom, take it with you into the world. If you have found comfort, go and share it with others. If you have dreamed dreams, help one another that they may come true. If you have known love, give some back to a bruised and hurting world. Go in peace.
Let's circle around to sing our traditional circle around for freedom.